So there I was. I woke up with a heavy case of amnesia in the middle of nowhere. The only clue to my past is Harry's name and address inside this hat. So I made my way to the apartment, and that's when I found you and your stapler gun.
Stop talking! You're a hallucination!
You're a hallucination.
So you're a talking Pikachu with no memories who's addicted to caffeine.
I could stop whenever I want. These are just choices. Another round, extra shot, black as night. Thank you, sweetie. I don't know. Maybe Harry got in too deep. Mixed up with the wrong crowd, that kind of thing. Look, you can talk to humans. I can talk to Pokemon. And if you want to find your pops, we're gonna need each other.
No, I don't need a Pokemon.
What about a world-class detective?
Hey, bud, what are you doing?
I can't do it when people are watching. Get me the hell out of here! Pika, Pika. That's a twist. That's very twisty.
Get him! He's barely moving.
Don't tell him that. Oh, he's on a bike. Quick, get in front of him.
Stop.
Oh, no. He's going down hard, Tim. Should have worn a helmet. You know, I lived it, I breathed it, I became the character. I spent the entire year as Detective Pikachu. Bringing Detective Pikachu to the big screen is a privilege that I don't take lightly. Every second of my energy is spent making this character come alive with the same exacting standards that the most discerning fans would have come to expect. Now, as many of you know, I vanish into my roles. You know, this is a funny anecdote. I was on my way to pick up my daughters from school when I heard that I got the role. Well, I didn't show up at school because Detective Pikachu, he doesn't know who those two little girls are. Who are they?
They're our daughters. He just left them.
He doesn't have a wife. No, he's a little yellow guy. Lives in Rhyme City in a briar patch or something. You know, I immerse myself completely within the world of Pokemon. I read about him. I live at his height. I tried to lose 182 pounds to match his weight until doctors intervened.
I mean, he didn't even change his voice. It just sounds like him.
And the point is, my daughters, they may never see their dad again, but you can be damn sure that they're looking up at that big screen this summer and they're gonna see Detective Pikachu.
We're not going.
Pika Pika. It's just me.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. Ryan Reynolds dropped the new Detective Pikachu trailer and that parody video. I love Blake Lively, his wife, saying, "We're totally not going to be seeing this film in theaters. We're not taking our children to this." But I do have a theory about the plot of the movie. I think that they're combining the plot of the video game, the Detective Pikachu video game, in the plot of the original Pokemon animated movie. So we'll break it down. There's a new round of the IMAX ticket giveaway too. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave your favorite moment from the trailer on the video. Most people probably freaking out about Mewtwo, but that's really where I think that they're roping in some of the plot from the video game and the original movie, because they sort of give you enough in this trailer to put the pieces together. If you haven't played the video game, I'll try to explain what was going on during that, but I do think that they're changing some of the video game plot, so it won't be exactly like that. But when you see the car fly off the road, that's actually Tim's father. He's investigating this lab here, where it seems like they're cloning Pokemon illegally and where they create Mewtwo, which is also a little bit of the plot of the first animated movie. Scientists create Mewtwo, Mewtwo destroys them, everything goes completely off the rails. But the plot of the video game is a little bit different. It also involves a lot of big Mewtwo moments. The cool thing too is if you played the video game and you felt like the ending was really ambiguous, I do think that they're doing the ending twist from the video game, but the movie might spell it out a little more clearly and give them a place to go if they want to do a sequel to this movie. Because I think the whole idea is that if it's successful, they'll make another one. When you see Tim's father's car fly off the road, you see that blast. It looks like the Greninjas are blasting him, the ones that climb out of those special tanks. It's the same tank that you see blow up in this scientist's face. That's probably Mewtwo trying to escape. But the really important thing here, though, is in this main villain's office that sort of ties all these theories together about Mewtwo and the evil cloning. So it seems like whoever he is, he's completely obsessed with collecting rare and powerful Pokemon, because you see a statue of a legendary Pokemon back here, Dialga, then you see a Palkia, then you see Arceus, and a lot of people have been going crazy about the Flareon here, but I actually think that what's going on here is a big twist, because remember, this villain looks like he's trying to clone Mewtwo, is that this is secretly a Mew just using its transformability to make itself look like a Flareon. So it would make sense that if he has a Mew, he's using its DNA to try and clone himself Mewtwo, just like the plot of the very first Pokemon animated movie. An early theory about how they're adapting the plot of the video game, and as it applies to Pikachu, his amnesia, and the reason why he doesn't know how to be a normal Pokemon or use his abilities, or only instinctively. Like he uses his Lightning Bolt ability here, he uses Bolt Charge, but he doesn't know how to fight when he's in the arena. Get me out of here. The theory is that they're pulling that directly from the game, and it also explains why Tim can understand him, but no one else. Is it because Pikachu's amnesia and the disappearance of Tim's father, who was investigating this evil cloning facility, all happened around the same place, so this accident took place simultaneously with the escape of Mewtwo that used his psychic ability to combine Tim's father's mind with Pikachu's. That would explain why this version of Pikachu isn't acting like a normal Pikachu, doesn't know how to use its normal abilities, and starts to adopt the mannerisms of Tim's father, even though it's kind of speaking with its own voice. Obviously, Ryan Reynolds looks nothing like Tim's father, doesn't sound like him either. So theory is that Detective Pikachu is an amalgam of the mind of Tim's father combined with a normal Pikachu Pokemon. That would also kind of explain a twist where they spend the whole movie wondering what happened to Tim's father. Did he fake his own death? Like, we don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. Well, that's because maybe he's been walking around next to him this whole time. So if they did a sequel, he would still have his father with him, like a piece of him would have survived, but you still continue on with this new entity that is Detective Pokemon that sounds like Ryan Reynolds. The big parade scene that they have in the trailer is also a big part of the video game. I think they're turning into a much bigger thing during the movie. But also, in this office, there are a couple of big Easter eggs too. The Ice Stone on the desk is used to evolved Ice-type Pokemon. The crystal in the middle might be a Sinnoh Stone. This one on the right here is an Old Amber. It's just a fossil containing the DNA of an Aerodactyl. Remember, this is supposed to be the villain's office. This is where Pikachu is saying that's a big twist. So just imagine all these rare and legendary Pokemon statues and memorabilia in this guy's office just because he's so obsessed with it. But there are a whole bunch of new Pokemon that we see during the trailer. I mean, there's going to be a crazy number during the film. I have to watch it a couple times to catch them all. There's a bunch of Joltics crawling on the telephone wires. The bartender that they have that joke with is the Ludicolo. This is Charizard sitting next to his trainer, who has a giant tattoo of Charizard on his chest. At the Rhyme City police station, there's a whole bunch of new ones. The police officers walking in both have Growlites. There's an evolved one over here that's turned into an Arcanine. The two giant Golurks are guarding the station. There's a Squirtle walking out here. There's a Machamp directing traffic while this Snorlax is just asleep in the middle of the street. There's a Pancham here, a Jigglypuff, and a Molga up here on top of the bus stop. A Pangoro in the background. There's a sign that's designed to look like a Scraggy. There's a sign of a Jolteon way in the background here. We see our first Snubbull. There's another Bulbasaur. There's a really raw-looking Lickitung that people have been talking about on social media for the past week or so. This neon sign as they're walking out is made to look like a Noctowl. This is a Morlul above these other Bulbasaurs while they're walking in the stream here. These look like Comfies and Flabébés, the flower Pokemon, just as they're walking by. So Pokemon all over the landscape here. Lucy has her Psyduck in a backpack on her back here. It's also the one that explodes earlier in the trailer here where you see this giant explosion. This seems like the entrance to that underground arena that we've seen in all the footage. The Loudred are being used by DJs as loudspeakers to amplify their music. The screens are all displaying battle prompts from the classic games too, like this says critical hit while you see the Gengar fighting the Blastoise. There's actually a Magikarp and a fish tank on the side of the arena here. This is the first Cubone I think we've seen. These are Aipom, they're part of the game's story too. But obviously there's a billion other Pokemon probably in the background of some of these shots, so let me know if you spotted any Easter eggs that I didn't include in the video, and let me know what you think the big twist is of the movie. Just post it in the comments below, because the way they ended the video game was very ambiguous, it's open to interpretation, but like I said, I think it had something to do with Mewtwo using his psychic abilities to fuse Tim's father's mind with this regular Pokemon to create the personality that is Detective Pikachu that we see during the course of the movie. Speaking of Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, there's supposed to be a new X-Men Dark Phoenix trailer posting tomorrow. I'll do a video for that. Leave all your video requests in the comments below too. While you wait for everything, click here for my non-spoilery Captain Marvel movie review, and click here to learn about all the Marvel movies coming after Avengers Endgame during Marvel Phase 4. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.
There's magic that brought us together, and that magic is called hope.